Okay, in today's demonstration, I am going to enlarge one of the many mixed media compositional studies that I did last week with magazine material and just 3 colors of paint. So what I've done, I'm going to use this one, and I like the diagonal. I can see a little bit of my original random line that I had on there, have a kind of a cross going. So I went ahead and put a wash on my canvas. You could just go white, but I decided I wanted to sort of match this brown color. Another idea would be to just glue a brown bag on there. I decided to go for a wash and then glue this on ahead of time. I don't have any more onions, carrots, potatoes, and celery collage material to glue on there. So I found, it's from the 50s. I love these colors. So I'm going to put in these parfaits on the diagonal. I'm still going to use these same colors. So I'm using this composition as an inspiration or a springboard to do another piece. Okay, so I'm going to, I glued this on with Mod Podge. I'm going to show you gluing this collage material on with Mod Podge. Okay, so that, oh dear, the angle's not quite right. It's going to go with that. Okay. So I think it's important to be excited about the collage material you're using. You want to have some excitement about the subject matter. So give some thought to that. All right. And now obviously it is changing. It is not, it's even more angled than my original study. Just going to let that happen. Okay. Now, if it's not canvas board, if it's this stretched canvas, it's easier if I drape it from the back to get that collage material to adhere. I'm going to make sure my edges are really glued down. The sheet of deli paper I'm scraping on top just to get it smooth on there. Okay, now I don't know if so I like to put my collage material down first. Later, I might add something else in. I could possibly add that in. I'm not sure. I don't know. If I want to add it in later, I can still do that. But I usually like to put my collage material down right in the beginning. Now, in my small studies, I began with doing some splattering on there. So I'm going to do that again with this high flow sepia. If you don't have any high flow, you can, and you want to do splatters, you can just add water to your paint to get it liquidy. And I like the splatters because I'm going to break across some of this collage material and start the process of integrating. Now, I also had a red line in there from the China marker. Okay. And then I'm going to use the same paint colors as last week. The light phthalo green, I think it's an ash blue. I picked odd colors, and this light orange. And they kind of match this 50s photography. Okay. Ready? I don't like that brush. Okay. I want a really wide brush. Give me just. So this is what happens when you scale up the amount of paint and the size of your brushes usually increases. On my original, I had done a dry brush on this blue. I'm adding some water so that it's just going to make the paint, what's the word? Going to go on quicker, easier. I'm looking at my original, but I can already see, I'm going to have to diverge from it. Okay, so I'm crossing over the magazine because I want it to feel embedded in the piece, okay? Now I'm going to add this ash blue at the bottom. Actually, I didn't. I added this orange first, and then I added the ash blue. So let me do that. In a perfect world, there'd be time for this to dry, but I don't have that time. Okay, now my ash blue. I want it to go on thicker, more impasto. So again, I'm not adding any water. And 45-degree angle, I'm gonna glob this stuff on there. It's mixing with the paint below because I don't have drying time. So then it's already becoming a different painting, and I'm just gonna go with that. Doing a little graffito there. Hold on. So I'm still referencing my original. So I'm going to put this blue square in there with the X. Again, laying it on super thick impasto with my palette knife. It almost looks like butter. Okay, so I have my basic structure, just like my original, but now I can probably not look at my original as much and make some changes and additions. Now would be a good time for me to say, you know, should I add in this thing, this other dessert? Yes, no. And if I wanted to, I probably would need to hit this with the blow dryer and then Mod Podge it on. I'm not going to do it right now just because, well, it's not dry. Okay, something needs to go on up here. It's a little bit boring to me. And I'm still sticking to these three colors, but my gut says this would probably be a point where I'd add a different color. But I think I'll do maybe some patterning in here. As I'm scraping, I'm seeing the colors below, but the colors are also kind of blending. Okay, and then when this dries, I could drag another color here if I wanted to. I'm going to add some more splatter. So that's the basics of it. And then the painting is too wet. It needs to dry. And then I'd come in with more. This is buckling. So I'd probably put a thicker paint there to kind of embed that more. And I don't see as much of the buckle.